The 2015 Hyundai Tucson fuel cell. Launched for 2005, the Tucson compact crossover was Hyundai's answer to the Toyota RAV4, Honda CR-V, and the Ford Escape. The Tucson did surprisingly well its first year, selling over 60,000 units in the U.S. alone. The small crossover slotted under Hyundai's larger Santa Fe and Veracruz crossovers. Sharing its platform with the Elantra sedan and Kia Sportage crossover, the Tucson proved to be a decent vehicle for moving people and their stuff. Hyundai launched the Tucson's second generation for 2010 that included a more stylized look and more efficient engines. The 2015 Tucson is part of Hyundai's latest experiment with hydrogen fuel cell technology. The new hydrogen system totally replaces the Tucson's gasoline engine with a power system that runs only on hydrogen, and only emits water vapor and heat as an exhaust. While the 2015 Tucson isn't Hyundai's first attempt at hydrogen fuel cell vehicles, it's Hyundai's first successful attempt. The Korean automaker is currently leasing Tucson FCV in select areas of California, including Los Angeles. For $2,999 down and $499 a month, owners can drive their Tucson FCV without the cost of refueling, as Hyundai is including free hydrogen fill-ups at your service maintenance centers. Updated 6 August 2015, Hyundai announced that the X35 fuel cell, the global name for the Tucson fuel cell outside the U.S., was driven for 24 hours with zero emissions. Behind the wheel were Arndt Goran Hartvig, sports scientist, and Marius Bornstein, master of physics, who traveled around the public roads in Germany, emitting nothing but water vapor. In order to break the record, the car covered a 186 miles route between Vattenfall's hydrogen station in Hafen City, Hamburg and a Shell hydrogen station in Sachsendamm, Berlin as many times as possible in 24 hours. Click past the jump to read more about the 2015 Hyundai Tucson fuel cell. Exterior. The exterior of the 2015 Tucson fuel cell takes a more conventional route in styling when compared to the 2014 Tucson model. The 2015's front grille now has the Hyundai corporate look similar to the grilles found on the 2015 Sonata and Genesis sedan. The six-sided look is clean and less obtuse than before and really makes the Tucson a more seductive vehicle. With the fuel cell aspect getting all the attention, the crossover also sports some unique adornments not found on regular gasoline-powered Tucsons. The rocker panels have a shapely satin chrome accent, and the fuel door also shares that same look. Several fuel cell badges are found around the exterior, letting onlookers know what's under the hood. Interior. Inside the Tucson fuel cell is the same interior found in the conventional Tucson. Shapely curves give the dashboard plenty of character, while the center-mounted infotainment screen give it plenty of functionality. The HVAC controls get their own section below the infotainment screen and provide easy manipulation of temperature, fan speed, and defrost functions. The center console is full of cubby spaces and cup holders, giving owners plenty of space to store their stuff. Twin analog gauges in the driver's gauge cluster flank a small screen that displays pertinent information on the crossover's operation. Like any good crossover, the rear seats fold flat, giving owners loads of cargo room. When not hauling stuff, the rear 60/40 split bench provides a nice place for 3 passengers to sit. Drivetrain. Of course, the most notable thing about the Tucson fuel cell is its drivetrain. Its hydrogen powerplant uses an electrochemical process that produces electricity from the circulating of hydrogen through a fuel cell. The hydrogen enters the anode portion of the unit while outside air enters the cathode section. Catalysts then split the hydrogen electrons and protons, while an electrolyte conducts the positively charged ions while blocking the electrons. Those electrons are then used to create electricity to power the electric motor. The only byproduct of this hydrogen process is heat and water vapors. No harmful pollutions are created nor emitted. According to Hyundai, a single fuel cell produces roughly 1 volt of electricity. Therefore, multiple fuel cells are needed to produce the large amount of power needed. Stacking these cells together in a circuit allows for the generation of large amounts of power. Hyundai says the Tucson fuel cell has a range of 265 miles on a single tank of hydrogen, however there's at least one report of the vehicle traveling 435 miles on a single fill-up. Prices. Currently Tucson fuel cells are available on a 36-month lease program. With $2,999 down and $499 per month after that, leases can drive their Tucsons up to 12,000 miles per year. The best part of the lease deal is the hydrogen fuel comes free of charge at one of several California-based stations. Competition. 2014 Toyota FCV. Toyota is also bringing a fuel cell vehicle to market, though in a smaller package. It uses a similar hydrogen power plant to produce its electrical energy in the form of roughly 100 kilowatts. That equals out to around 134 horsepower. Toyota says acceleration will be in the 10-second range, competitive with the Prius. Though US pricing hasn't been released yet, we know the FCV will cost Japanese buyers some 7 million yen, or approximately $69,000. Toyota hints at less expensive costs for US buyers once it arrives, but we expect it to still cost over $50,000. Honda FCX Clarity. Honda is also in the hydrogen fuel cell game with its FCX Clarity. Hitting the streets in 2008, the Clarity proved that hydrogen to be a viable option for automotive propulsion. The FCX Clarity uses a fuel cell design much like the Toyota and Hyundai systems and has a range of more than 300 miles on a single fill-up. Also like Hyundai, the FCX Clarity is limited to certain regions of California where hydrogen filling stations exist. Conclusion. The Hyundai Tucson fuel cell is a solid working model of what hydrogen fuel cell vehicles can be. With a decent range and free fuel during the lease, the early adopters of Hyundai's technology are reaping the benefits of a pollution-free, electric vehicle with the practicality of a crossover SUV. As time marches on and other automakers release their versions of fuel cell vehicles, the market is sure to respond positively with an expanding network of hydrogen refueling stations and fuel cell compatible dealerships across the country. While the world's dependence on fossil fuels won't end anytime soon, this and other attempts at more renewable and clean sources of energy seem to be headed in the right direction. Love it. Actual FVCs in real driveways, free fill-ups during lease period, good fuel range, interior functionality. Leave it only available on lease, limited to California for sales, and driving fuel cell tech still in its infancy.
If you liked this video, please share your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to hit the subscribe button.